Hey everybody, today we're talking about Aalto. Now, Aalto is a gun using arrow character. For anyone who doesn't know, that's wind, obviously. And his stats are pretty much in line with all the rest of the sword and gun users, with 9,000 to 10,000 HP, 200 to 300 or 400 attack, 10,000 to 9,000 defense. All the rest of the stats are pretty much in line. Some people have a little bit less resonance energy or more, but everything else pretty much the same when it comes to this. Now, Aalto's basic attacks, he has a basic 5-hit combo attack. At the end of his basic attack string, he will shoot 4 bullets out of a wind tunnel. This is like his passive. See that? 4 bullets. Easy. So we saw the basic attack combo. We know at the end he gives that little wind tunnel. It's called Mist. It lasts for 1.5 seconds and it shoots 4 shots through it with just the basic combo. You might be able to get maybe 2 more shots in there if you don't have to dodge or anything, but it will continuously, if you shoot through these mists, will do arrow damage. Heavy attacks, we all know about them. Point, charge it up for a little bit, does more damage, does the elemental bonus, whatever. Mist shot is where he does most of his damage. Every time there's a mist on the ground and he shoots through it, no matter what it is, will be infused with arrow damage. That was Aalto's skill, his resonance skill. It is the mist avatar. It creates a mist, the mist avatar itself, and like you saw, it spawns 6 mist bullets around the avatar, and they will home into most near enemies and do arrow damage. But the avatar itself takes a portion of Aalto's health. And I believe, don't quote me on this, I believe it's 50% or 20. Didn't quite see the numbers exactly. I just know it doesn't last all that long when it's getting hit by multiple sources. So this is his way of diverting attention so he can do his mist bullets, and that will be his primary source of damage, will be his mist bullets. So this is a good way to get the attention off you so you can do what you need to do and be fine doing it. Now Aalto has another skill. After doing some basic attacks, he gets points in his passive meter, and then he can do his wave cloak dash. He spawns a mist, dashes through it, even without his passive meter going, which you can generate by doing basic attacks. He can still dash through his mist. Now, with his passive meter, he can spawn the mist drops, which were those arrow homing bullets you saw. After he stopped dashing, they spread out and attack the nearest enemies. Now, this is why he's a character that likes to move more than anybody else. You constantly want to keep on spawning mist, either shooting through it to get your passive meter up or dashing through it, creating those homing bullets, using your skill, dashing again, getting your homing bullets. He wants to move 24/7. As long as he's on the field, you have to be moving to do damage, basically. His ult, his Residence Liberation, is called the Flower of the Mist, and he'll summon a Gate of Quandary. In this gate, he can shoot through it. And just like the mist, his Gate of Quandary, if you pass through it with the dash, you automatically go into your Mist Cloak dash. But the gate lasts for 10 seconds, okay? So you want to do your other skills, blah, 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 get your ult, shoot through it a couple times, get your passive meter back up, run through it again before it closes, and start the process basically all over again. Now, Aalto's intro and outro skills are pretty basic. He comes in shooting with his intro skill, does some arrow damage, cool. But his outro skill, he increases arrow damage by 30% for 14 seconds. Now, or until this character exits. So just keep that in mind. If you don't want to use this increase, it doesn't really matter. But if you do, it's there. Aalto has pretty basic passive skills. His heavy attacks can crit, but I don't really see you using this all that much. Because mainly you want to keep on moving. I guess when you pull out your Gate of Quandary, you can do that. Or just in the start of the fight, you might want to use this. I don't really know. I don't really see myself using this all that much. But then he can recover stamina when he's in his mist form. So it's exploring with him should be pretty cool. Or when he's in combat, you can get your stamina back a little bit faster. Now it's time to talk about Aalto's Resonance Chain. Aalto's S1 is a cooldown reduction on his skill. It reduces it by 4 seconds. Okay. His S2, when he puts out his clone, it gets 100% HP, 100% of his HP, rather than the 50% it had before. And Aalto's attacks that hit a taunted enemy increase by 15%. His S3, Aalto's basic and mid-air attacks passes through this Gate of Quandary, become scattering attack. And basically it's an enhance. It gives your attack 50% more damage. Okay. His S4, the damage of his resonant skill, the vaporized bullets, those were the little mist bullets around his clone, and he gets by dashing, will increase by 30%. Both of them, okay? But the damage he receives while running in that little mist form is reduced by 30% as well. So he gets more damage and he can take more damage in that state. S5 is when in the mist form, Aalto's damage bonus is increased by 25% and it lasts for 6 seconds. So you get in, do your dash. As soon as you leave, the arrow bullets that spawn around you do 25% more damage, and every arrow damage you do after that does 25%. Now his final S6, when he does his ult, Flower of the Mist, which is the Gate of Quandary I told you about, it has an increase of 10% damage, and his heavy attacks that pass through the gate also do an additional 50%. So you can stick by doing your basics. It's quicker, it does 10% more. But if you stay with the shards attacks, if you have the time to do them, I recommend you doing them when you have S6, because it does 50% more damage. It's just better. Now let's talk about echoes when it comes to Aalto. Aalto has a good selection he can pick from. Now the obvious choice with Aalto is to go with the Overlord class cost 4 Cerulean Bringle. Okay, it does massive damage on its kick and its pursuit attack. Okay, and it increases arrow damage by 12% and heavy attack damage by 12% for 15 seconds. Now with the Cerulean Bringle, the Sonata effect would be to increase his arrow damage. Okay, so you can either get the 2-piece with the regular 10% bonus, or the 5-piece with the intro skill doing 30% more arrow damage for 5 seconds. But you can also just straight up increase his attack with the mech abomination. Now, this has the endless resonators. I'm not too worried about the basic skill itself because it increases electro damage, and we don't need that. But the current character's attack increases by 12%. With someone who does most of his damage by basic attacking, you kind of want this in a way, okay? And at rank 5, it does some pretty good damage. Now, what you really want it for is the endless resonance, okay? Increases attack by 10%, and when on field, increases attack by another 5% every 1.5 seconds and can be stacked up to 4 times. And the Aalto skill damage is increased by 60%. But if we remember, Aalto's Aalto skill is to increase arrow damage by 30%. So if you have another wind character, arrow character after him, then you can not only increase their skill damage by 60, but their arrow damage by another 30%. And I just think this is just perfect for Aalto. But if you're having trouble keeping his energy regen up, I would pair him with a character that has a Moonlit Clouds Sonata effect, okay? Now, whoever this character might be that you might be using would need to have at least a 2-piece of this. But I don't really think you should be having that much of a problem, especially if you S4 this character. But it also increases the Aalto skill and attack for the next resonator that enters the field by 22.5, lasting for 15 seconds. Again, pairing with Aalto with these combinations will make him do so much more damage. Now, this character I think is just really cool and really has a lot to offer in different teams as a sub DPS or as a main DPS, honestly. And that's pretty much the end of the video itself. Now, I'm not really much of a guide maker. I'm just trying this out, looking forward to the characters that come out in Withering Waves. Now, I also want to probably do some more breakdowns of other characters. But I'll also probably do maybe some breakdowns of characters for ZZZ and maybe give my impressions of that game as well. Again, haven't played the closed beta, so I don't know everything, just what I've seen. And again, like, comment, subscribe. In the meantime, here's some epic gameplay.